Welcome to Tales Beyond Time. I'm Sahil Mittal, your narrator for today, and I'm excited to take you on a journey through some of the most intriguing and enlightening stories from ancient Indian mythology. Today, we'll dive into the legendary accounts of Vaivasvata Manu, who played a pivotal role in the preservation of life during a great deluge, and the illustrious lineage of Ikshvaku, which gave rise to many revered kings and sages. These narratives not only recount the rich history of our ancestors but also impart timeless wisdom about virtue, duty, and the essence of humanity. Each story is a reflection of the values and teachings that have been passed down through generations, offering insights that remain relevant in our lives today. So, whether you're a seasoned learner or just starting your journey with the English language, these tales will not only enhance your listening skills but also deepen your understanding of important life lessons. Join me as we embark on this enriching adventure, exploring the threads that bind us to our past and inspire our future. Hindus believe that time moves in a straight line, yet within that, there is a cyclical repetition of life and events. While events may seem to repeat, each occurrence is still unique in its essence. According to ancient Hindu thought, time on Earth is different from the time experienced by other planets and stars. For example, while a year on Earth consists of 365 days, a single divine year for the gods is equivalent to these 365 days. The Hindu concept of time is both linear and cyclical. It is cyclical in the sense that day follows night and night follows day. However, that doesn't mean yesterday's day is today's day. Events unfold in new and different ways. For instance, Lord Ram incarnated many times, but each time in a different era with a new story. The Ram of one Trita Yuga has no connection with the Ram of another. These events are determined by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and ultimately, by a higher power known as Kal Brahm. Kal Brahm, or the Supreme Time, governs who will become Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in each era. Vishnu has been born many times on many Earths, each with its own unique timeline. Now, according to Hindu time calculations, 12,000 divine years equal one cycle of 4 ages, yugas. These 4 yugas repeat in a cycle 71 times to form a manvantara. Each manvantara is a cycle of creation, spanning millions of years. In the Vishnu Purana, one manvantara equals 852,000 divine years, which translates to over 30 million human years. Right now, we are in the 7th manvantara, known as the Vaivasvata Manvantara. A single day in the life of Brahma, the creator god, consists of 14 manvantaras. Each day of Brahma represents a period of creation, after which the universe dissolves and rests before a new cycle begins. The current era is called the Virha-kalpa, and 6 manvantaras have already passed. We are in the 7th, led by Vaivasvata Manu, with the 8th manvantara of Savarni Manu yet to come. This vast span of time illustrates the Hindu belief in the eternal nature of creation, dissolution, and rebirth. The story of time in Hinduism isn't just about human history, it involves gods, sages, and cosmic events. Hindu cosmology suggests that the universe and human life have appeared, disappeared, and reappeared countless times, each with new beginnings and fresh outcomes. When the universe is destroyed, everything is engulfed in darkness for millions of years. After this period, Vishnu is reborn from the cosmic waters, and from his navel springs a lotus flower. Brahma, the god of creation, emerges from this lotus, bringing the universe back into existence. The cycles of creation continue as Brahma contemplates a new intelligent being, one who could carry the knowledge of the universe and extend creation. After several attempts, he creates Swayambhuva Manu and Kshatrupa, the first man and woman, from whom humanity arises. Brahma also created the great sages, who were tasked with spreading the divine knowledge of the Vedas. This sacred wisdom was passed down from one Manu to the next, eventually reaching Lord Krishna, who shared it with the world. The history of Hinduism is a tale of gods, humans, and cosmic events, intertwined in the eternal cycle of creation and destruction. As we delve deeper into the ancient texts, we uncover stories of beings like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, whose cosmic roles shape the universe as we know it. Rishi Kashyap, Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyaksha. As we have already mentioned, the earth was originally covered by water, When the water receded, the first visible land appeared near Mount Meru. This mountain is located at the center of the Himalayas, where Mount Kailash resides. The region of Kashmir was inhabited by the descendants of Rishi Kashyap. Rishi Kashyap was a great sage who expanded his lineage by marrying many women. In ancient times, the diversity of castes was much greater than what we see today. Rishi Kashyap was the learned son of Marichi, the mind-born son of Brahma. He was considered the origin of both the gods and demons, and his ashram was located at the summit of Mount Meru, where he meditated on the Supreme Brahman. All gods, demons, and humans followed the orders of Rishi Kashyap, and he authored many Smriti texts. #### The lineage of Rishi Kashyap. According to the Puranas, during the creation and development of the universe, Brahma appeared first on earth. From Brahma, Daksha Prajapati was born. On Brahma's request, Daksha Prajapati had 66 daughters with his wife Asikni. 13 of these daughters became the wives of Rishi Kashyap, and it was primarily through these daughters that creation expanded, earning Kashyap the title of Creator of the Universe. Notably, the descendants of Brahma's sons expanded their lineages through intermarriage. ###Kashyap's wives. Rishi Kashyap had several wives, including Aditi, Tithi, Danu, Ka, Arya, Surasa, Ila, Muni, Krodavasa, Tamra, Surabhi, Timi, Vinata, Kadru, Patanji, and Yamini. The stories of these wives are fascinating and are essential reads for anyone interested in Hindu mythology. 1. Aditi. According to the Puranas, Rishi Kashyap's wife Aditi gave birth to 12 sons, known as the Adithyas, among whom was the Vamana avatar of Lord Vishnu. These 12 sons included Vaivasvan, the sun, Arya, Thuithmakran, Tva, Vishwakarma, Savita, Bag, Datta, Vidhata, Varua, Mitra, Indra, and Trivikrama, Lord Vamana. It is believed that Vaivasvan fathered Vaivasvata Manu, from whom the solar dynasty, Suryavansha, arose. 2. Dithi. Rishi Kashyap's wife Dithi gave birth to Hiranyakashyap and Hiranyaksha, two powerful demons, and a daughter named Simika. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, besides these 3 children, Dithi also bore 49 other sons, who were called Marundans. These sons remained childless. Hiranyakashyap had 4 sons, Anyalad, Hlada, the devotee Prahlad, and Sanhlad. ### The Deva-Asura War. The offspring of Aditi and Dithi were called the Suras, gods, and Asuras, demons, respectively. These two groups fought fierce battles over control of heaven, and it is believed that the Deva-Asura War occurred 12 times. Aditi's sons, such as Indra and Vaivasvan, frequently clashed with Dithi's sons, Hiranyakashyap and Hiranyaksha. Varua, the god of water and a son of Aditi, was favored by both gods and demons, which is why he is sometimes considered a supporter of the Asuras. ###Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha was a formidable demon who sought control over all 3 worlds. He ruled over southern India and, thanks to a boon from Brahma, became invincible and immortal. His terror spread across the earth, and he mocked Vishnu, challenging him to a battle as Vishnu was in the process of creating the earth. When Lord Varha, an incarnation of Vishnu, lifted the earth from the depths of the ocean and established it above the waters, he finally turned his attention to Hiranyaksha. With a mighty army of Varha soldiers, Vishnu crossed the Vindhya mountain and laid siege to Hiranyaksha's kingdom. A great battle took place in Sangamner, where Hiranyaksha was ultimately defeated and killed. Even today, many places in southern India carry names reminiscent of Hiranyaksha, such as Hingali, Hingangat, and the Hingna River. ###Hiranyakashyap. Hiranyakashyap's son Prahlad was a devotee of Lord Vishnu, a fact that Hiranyakashyap despised. Like his brother Hiranyaksha, he wanted to be acknowledged as the supreme ruler of all gods, demons, and humans. To slay Hiranyakashyap, Lord Vishnu had to take the Narasimha avatar. Everyone is familiar with the story of Prahlad, and the festivals of Holika Dahan and Narasimha Jayanti commemorate this event. ### Bali and Vamana. Mahabali Bali was granted immortality and is believed to still roam the earth, continuing to work against the gods. His initial abode was in Mahabalipuram in southern India, but it is now believed that he resides in the desert lands of Arabia, known as Patala Loka in ancient times. Ahiravan also lived there. During the churning of the ocean, Bali received a horse while Indra received an elephant. It is noteworthy that Arabia became famous for its horses, while India was renowned for its elephants. Bali, a devotee of Lord Vishnu, was a mighty but just ruler. Despite being tricked by Vishnu in his Vamana avatar, Bali held no grudge. He acknowledged the past deeds of his ancestors, such as Hiranyakaship's defiance of Vishnu, but he believed that the gods had wronged his family. Bali's devotion and sacrifice earned him immortality, and though he held a grudge against the gods, Vishnu made him the king of Patala Loka. The battle between Indra and Bali over control of heaven is well known, as is the story of the churning of the ocean. When Indra insulted the garland gifted by sage Durvasa, Durvasa cursed Indra, stripping him of his prosperity and driving him from heaven. Seizing this opportunity, Shukrakarya urged Bali to conquer heaven. Bali succeeded in ousting the gods and claiming control over the three worlds. The gods, led by Lord Vishnu, sought the help of Lord Shiva, and they decided to churn the ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality. This nectar would ensure the gods' victory in the eventual battle against Bali and the Asuras. Vaivasvata Manu, a historical overview. In the Matsya Purana, it is mentioned that King Satyavrat was performing a water offering at the Kritamala river when a small fish swam into his palms. He released the fish back into the river, but it warned him that larger creatures would eat it. Concerned, the king took the fish back, placed it in his water pot, and brought it to his ashram. The next night, the fish grew tremendously. The king transferred it to a large jar, but when it outgrew that as well, he put it in a pond. Eventually, Satyavrat realized that this was no ordinary fish, and he decided to release it into the ocean. As he did, the fish spoke again, cautioning him about the presence of crocodiles in the sea and pleading not to be left there. However, the king humbly insisted that the fish was no ordinary creature and asked for its identity. Then, in the form of Lord Vishnu, the fish revealed that in 7 days, due to a great flood, the earth would submerge in the ocean. It instructed Satyavrat to build a large boat and to take all living beings, along with the 7 sages and seeds of various grains, into it. The fish warned that a great storm would shake the boat, but that it would come to his aid, and until then he should ask any questions he had. After receiving this guidance, the king began his penance. The time predicted by the fish arrived, and it began to rain heavily while the ocean surged. Satyavrat, along with the sages, gathered the seeds and got into the boat. As foretold, the divine fish appeared again, and the boat was tied to its horn. The fish then pulled the boat through the tumultuous sea, giving instructions and answers to Satyavrat's questions. Ultimately, the fish secured the boat at the peak of the Himalayas, and thus the great flood came to an end. This Satyavrat is known today as Vaivasvata Manu, the son of Surya, the sun. It is believed that approximately 3,500 years after King Bali, a great deluge occurred on earth. Gradually, the waters receded, and under the leadership of Vaivasvata Manu, 6,673 BCE, the first generation of humans descended into the Meru region from Trivishtap, Tibet, or the celestial realm. They brought with them the sacred Vedas from the heavens, establishing the tradition of Shruti and Smrti. During Vaivasvata Manu's time, Lord Vishnu took the Matsya, fish, avatar. Manu had 10 sons: Ila, Ikshvaku, Kushanaba, Arishta, Dhru, Narishyanta, Karusha, Mahabali, Sharvathi, and Prashadra, along with a daughter named Ila. Prominent sages during the reign of Vaivasvata Manu included Vasishtha, Vishvamitra, Atri, Kanva, Bharadvaja, Markanda, and Agastya. In his governance, there were 5 divisions of beings: gods, demons, yakshas, kinnars, and gandharvas, which essentially were 5 types of human races. Initially, these races resided in the regions near the Himalayas but gradually spread downward. Ikshvaku, a milestone in Hindu history. After Vaivasvata Manu, Ikshvaku is a significant figure in Hindu religious history. He was one of Manu's 10 sons: 1. Ila, 2. Ikshva, 3. Kushanaba, 4. Arishta, 5. Dhru, 6. Narishyanta, 7. Karusha, 8. Mahabali, 9. Sharvathi, and 10. Prashadra. Many great Tirthankaras, deities, kings, saints, and creators were born into Ikshvaku's lineage. The descendants of Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku had 3 sons, 1. Kukshi, 2. Nimi, and 3. Dandaka. His first son, Kukshi, became the king of Ayodhya, from whose lineage Lord Rama emerged. His second son, Nimi, ruled Mithila, and from his line came King Janaka, with sage Vasishtha as his guru. Nimi later became the 21st Tirthankara of Jainism. King Prithu. In the lineage of Ikshvaku arose the great Emperor Prithu. Very few Hindus know the story of Prithu, the son of Vina, whose father was the descendant of the self-born Manu and married Sunitha, the daughter of Death. Prithu accomplished many great deeds and is considered an incarnation of Lord Vishnu due to his remarkable contributions. In the Valmiki Ramayana, he is referred to as the son of Anaranya and the father of Trishanku. His wife was named Arki. Prithu's father, being highly sinful, descended into hell, but Prithu rescued him. Prithu was a devout king and a devotee of Lord Vishnu. He performed 100 yajnas along the banks of the Sarasvati River, a region known as Brahmavarta at that time. During the 100th yajna, Indra stole his horse, infuriating Prithu, who strung his bow. Brahma intervened, and Prithu ultimately settled in Prayag. In his later years, he and Arki retreated to the forest for penance. Prithu and Arki had 5 sons: Vijitashva, Damrakesha, Haryaksha, Dravina, and Virka. It is noteworthy that there was another Prithu in the lunar dynasty, the son of Chitrarath of the Vrishni clan, who was the brother of Vidura. Krishna appointed him to guard the northern gate of Mathura, and he met his end during the conflict that marked the end of the Yadava lineage at Prabhastirtha. King Harishchandra. Who does not know the story of King Harishchandra from the Satya Yuga? Almost everyone is aware of how sage Vishvamitra and Brahma ruined his life to test his devotion to truth, yet he never abandoned honesty. His tale is profoundly tragic and is regarded as one of the most significant narratives in Indian history. King Harishchandra was renowned for his truthfulness, generosity, and adherence to promises. To test his fidelity, Brahma and Vishvamitra devised a plan that turned his life upside down. One night, he dreamed that he had given his entire kingdom to sage Vishvamitra. The next morning, Vishvamitra appeared at his doorstep in the guise of a sage. Harishchandra respectfully greeted him, asking what he desired. In his sage disguise, Vishvamitra asked if the king could fulfill his request. Recognizing Vishvamitra, Harishchandra admitted that he had already given everything to him and questioned what more he could offer. Vishvamitra was astonished and expressed pleasure at the king's steadfastness. He declared that the king's empire now belonged to him and asked what he would offer as a donation. Contemplating, the king realized that without a donation, a gift could not be complete. After a moment of thought, he stated that the only thing left was their bodies. He resolved to sell himself in the markets of Kashi, with the proceeds being Vishvamitra's donation. Consequently, he sold himself, along with his son and wife, in the Kashi market, giving the money to Vishvamitra as a donation. This marked the beginning of his misfortunes. The story continues. You may explore it further through literature or film. Yayati's story. From Brahma to Atri, Atri to Chandra, Chandra to Buddha, Buddha to Purava, Purava to Au, Au to Nahusha, Nahusha to Yadi, and then to Yayati, who had 6 powerful sons named Sanjaya, Ayati, Vyadi, and Kriti. Among the descendants of Atri, the most notable tale is that of Yayati and his sons. Yayati had 5 sons: 1. Pu, 2. Yadu, 3. Turvasu, 4. Anu, and 5. Driya. These 5 sons and their descendants collectively ruled almost all of Asia, as mentioned in the Rigveda. Yayati was an indulgent king. Whenever Yama, the god of death, would come to take him away, he would refuse, claiming that he had not yet experienced enough of life. Vasishtha versus Vishvamitra, the battle of prestige. The rivalry between Guru Vasishtha and Vishvamitra has been a significant saga in ancient Indian history. This rivalry led to a great war, known as the Dasaraj War, which occurred about 5,000 years ago, prior to the Mahabharata War. The mention of this war can be found in the Rigveda, dating back to the Ramayana era. Another Mahabharata, before the Mahabharata. Before the Mahabharata War, another monumental conflict took place among the Aryans in the region of Aryavarta, known as the Dasraj War. This war is still spoken of across various cultures around the world. The details of this battle can be found in the 7th mandala of the Rigveda, revealing the number of clans or tribes of the Aryans and their territorial dominance. Historians suggest that this war occurred near the Parushni River, now Ravi River, in modern-day Pakistan. From Brahma came Bgu, from Bgu came Varaini Bgu, from Varaini Bgu came Badshya, Shunaka, Shukrakarya, Ushana or Kavya, Badhula, Sanana and Chayavana. From Shunaka came Shanika, and from Shukrakarya came Tvashtra. From Tvashtra came Vishvarupa and Vishvakarma. Vishvakarma fathered Manu, Maya, Tvashtra, Shilpika, and Devajna. Bgu was present during the Dasraj War. King Sagar and Bhagirath. King Sagar of the Ikshvaku dynasty was an ancestor of Bhagirath and Lord Rama. He had 2 queens, Keshini and Sumdi. After a long period without offspring, King Sagar went with both queens to the Himalayas to perform penance for a son. There, sage Bgu granted him the boon that one queen would have 60,000 proud sons while the other would bear a single heir. Later, Queen Sumdi gave birth to a globular mass resembling a womb, which was lifeless. Disheartened, King Sagar was about to discard it when a celestial voice warned, "Beware, O king! Within this womb are 60,000 seeds. If you store each seed in a pot filled with ghee, in due time, you will bear 60,000 sons." King Sagar followed this celestial decree, storing the seeds as instructed. In due course, he had 60,000 sons. When King Sagar performed the Ashwamedha Yagna, he appointed these sons to guard the sacrificial horse. However, Indra, the king of the gods, deceitfully stole the horse and tied it in the hermitage of sage Kapila. While searching for the horse, King Sagar's 60,000 sons reached sage Kapila's hermitage and accused him of theft. When sage Kapila opened his eyes, the intense heat of his gaze turned King Sagar's sons to ashes. To bring peace to his ancestors, Bhagirath performed intense penance and successfully brought the Ganges from heaven to earth. When the holy waters of the Ganges washed over the ashes of his ancestors, they attained peace. This tale of Ganga's descent to earth is known as Gangavataran. The story of Parshuram. Like Ashvatthama, Hanuman, and Vibhishan, Parshuram is also considered a Chiranjeevi, an immortal being. He was present during the times of both Rama and Krishna, and will remain on earth until the end of the Kalpa. Parshuram belonged to the Bgu clan. According to the Mahabharata, Bgu had 2 sons, Ushana's Shukra and Chayavana. Shukra and his lineage were destroyed due to their alignment with the demons, while Chayavana, who married the daughter of Manu, Arushi, fathered Aurva, who begot Ratchik, who in turn fathered Jamadagni, and from Jamadagni, Parshuram was born. Parshuram was the son of Ratchik and Satyavati. Satyavati was the daughter of Gadi, who was the son of King Kushika and father of Vishvamitra. Parshuram was born on the 3rd day of the bright half of Vaishaka in the Bgu clan, with his mother named Renuka. He was a devoted follower of Lord Shiva, who bestowed upon him a powerful axe known as Parshu. During his time, the Kshatriya kings of the Haihaya dynasty were notorious for their tyranny. King Sahasrabahu Arjuna oppressed the sages residing in the ashrams. Parshuram killed King Sahasrabahu in Mahishmati, liberating the sages. He fought against the Haihaya kings 36 times and defeated them each time, resulting in the destruction of many Kshatriyas. To atone for this sin, Parshuram withdrew into deep penance. The story of Rama. According to research, Lord Rama was born on the 9th day of Chatra in the year 5114 BC. He was the eldest son of King Dashrath of Ayodhya, who had 3 wives, Kushalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. Rama's brothers were Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna. Rama was the son of Kushalya, while Sumitra bore the twins Lakshmana and Shatrughna, and Kaikeyi had Bharata. Lakshmana's wife was named Urmila, Shatrughna's wife was Shrikirti, and Bharata's wife was Mandavi. Sita and Urmila were daughters of King Janaka, while Mandavi and Shrikirti were daughters of Kushadvaja. Rama was married to Sita during a Swayamvara where Ravana also participated. After their marriage, Kaikeyi convinced Dashrath to send Rama into exile for 14 years. During their exile, Lakshmana cut off the nose of Ravana's sister Surpanaka. Seeking revenge for his sister's humiliation, Ravana abducted Sita. During the exile, Rama and Sita had twin sons, Lava and Kusha. According to research, Shalaya, who fought for the Kauravas in the Mahabharata, was a descendant of Lava and Kusha. To rescue Sita from Ravana's clutches, Rama built a bridge with the help of allies like Hanuman, Sugriva, and Vibhishan and attacked Lanka. A fierce battle ensued, culminating in the defeat of the mighty Ravana. Subsequently, Ravana returned with Sita to Ayodhya aboard the Pushpaka Vimana. Throughout these events, Hanuman played a crucial role as Rama's devoted ally and helper, often referred to as Rama's most ardent devotee. Significant events: receiving education from Guru Vasishta, protecting the sage's yagna with Vishvamitra in the forest, the abduction of Sita, the encounter with Jatayu, and the significant battles against Ravana. The story of Krishna. Krishna's narrative encapsulates the essence of Hinduism and the complete story of India. According to Hindu belief, Vishnu incarnated as Krishna in the 28th Dvapara during the reign of the 8th Manu, Vaivasvata. Krishna was born in a prison in Mathura to Devaki and Vasudeva during the dark half of the month of Bhadrapada, specifically at midnight, when the planetary alignment was most auspicious. To fully understand Krishna's life, one should study texts like the Mahabharata, Bhagavata Purana, and Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Philosophy of Krishna. Neither does anyone die, nor does anyone kill, all are mere instruments, all beings were without form before birth and will be without form after death. Why mourn for those who are only visible in between? After the Mahabharata, the center of Dharma shifted from Takshashila, Peshawar, to Pataliputra in Magadh. The history following the Mahabharata is mentioned in the Garg Samhita. In the lineage of the Ayodhya clan, the 94th generation saw the rise of King Bhadratha, followed by his descendants ruling in Magadh. The story of Chandragupta, Chanakya, and Emperor Ashoka. The tale of Chandragupta and Chanakya represents the entirety of Indian history during their era. Thus, it is essential for all Indians to study the lives of Chanakya and Chandragupta alongside the life of Emperor Ashoka. The story of Vikramaditya. Emperor Vikramaditya was indeed the king of Avantika, but his rule extended over all of India. His name has become synonymous with the title Vikramaditya, awarded to other kings, including Chandragupta II and Hemu. According to Vikram Samvat, Vikramaditya lived 2,286 years ago. Vikramaditya's birth name was Vikram. Senator King Gandharvasena was also a Chakravarti emperor. Vikramaditya was born 3,000 years after the Kali Yuga began and ruled for 100 years. Thank you for listening to this captivating collection of stories. Each tale not only entertains but also imparts valuable lessons about life, duty, and righteousness. I hope you enjoyed this journey through time and gained new insights along the way. If you liked this episode, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to Tales Beyond Time. Your support helps us bring more stories to life. Until next time, keep exploring the world of stories.